All right. I need one of those like intros. You motherfucker. Fucking Travis. He's already trying to piss me off. I mean, a boost control topped out and dinging 4 horsepower. Yeah, I'm not surprised, dude. I do speak meme. Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck bet meant. Like, I mean, besides what my dad did when I was a kid at the horse races, or when I go to fucking. Yeah, see you, Travis. Go fuck yourself. Hope your day sucks. Just kidding. I love you. Have fun. Yeah, so, motherfuckers, I don't understand why it is so fucking difficult to formulate a complete sentence. Or maybe use a hint of punctuation. It's so bad. My hair is like my hair. It's worse than my hair. Why did my car turn off? I don't want that shit on. Buffoonery! Yeah. Yeah, I used to get boxes that said Dominic Toretto Asia on them. My middle initial is T. And I used to get boxes from friends of mine that were being smartasses, especially when Fast and Furious was still about cars. That was pretty common. Only, I'm way more buff than Vin Diesel, and I hate Dodge. Yeah. I don't tune cars without cats. So I get an email from people sometimes, and I swear to God, there's a competition I'm unaware of, and it is how to write the absolute worst fucking email possible. And I read these fucking things, and I'm like, I am not your fucking friend. I'm not your bro. You're not fucking text messaging me. We're not on Facebook shooting the shit. This is a fucking email to a business. What the fuck? Like, does this guy ever plan on getting employed? Like, does somebody hire people that talk like fucking idiots? I don't even understand. Like, I mean, I know that I'm old, and so, you know, I'm just one step from the guy in the 1980s saying, hey, you kids, get off my lawn, right? I realize that I'm fucking close to that, right? But when a motherfucker sends me 2 paragraphs, it's all lowercase, your is you are, and I got finna and gotta and bet and got you and tryna, like, the fuck? What the fuck? Don't send me those emails. Just fucking hit delete. Because if you don't, I am. I'm gonna publicly roast your stupid fucking illiterate ass, and I'm gonna fucking delete that shit. I'm gonna post it, and I'm gonna see if you're employed. I'm gonna call your boss. I'm gonna say, how do you fucking do it? How do you handle that shit? Like, there's a language, and this motherfucker is murdering it. I don't fucking get it. I don't fucking understand it. Like, we are devolving like I have never fucking witnessed. It is absolutely insane. Like, I bet this motherfucker, people talk about, oh, they don't even teach cursive in school anymore. This motherfucker can't print. Alright? Like, just standard fucking words. Can't spell them. Can't write them. Can't fucking put fucking periods in sentences. You know, or commas, or fucking anything, right? It is comically bad. So, fuck, man. If you're one of those literate fucks, don't email me, or have your mom write the fucking email or something, you know? Have some old guy who still speaks English write the fucking email or something. I literally responded to a guy and I said, is that fucking English? Fuck. It just drives me absolutely insane. Like, I would never email a professional in the field and have every fucking word be misspelled and slang. Like, that that's fucking offensive. That's more offensive than guys that hold their forks like this. Ah! Like, what the fuck, are you an animal? Jesus Christ, who taught you how to hold your silverware? What the fuck? It's not a shovel, folks. It's not a shovel. You're supposed to be able to utilize a fork with precision. Pick a piece, move it around, put it in your mouth nicely. Like, they used to have this thing called interview lunches, and they would interview a person over lunch, and they would evaluate how you carry yourself in your meal. If you hunched over your plate, went, rah, they're like, no, not that guy, right? Like, no. If you sat there and chewed with your mouth full all the time, they're like, no, not that guy, right? Like, they used to have interviews over lunch to see, you know, how this person was beyond, because like, those are things that you can observe without asking questions, right? When you send in a resume for a job, they want a cover letter. They want a cover letter because they want to see if you can fucking write. Like, anyone can build you a resume, right? And that kind of stuff. So they want to see if you can write. They want to see if you're eloquent at all. They want to see what kind of motivations you have, things like that. They take you to a working lunch. They want to see if you use your fucking knife to stir your fucking coffee and, eat your peas or whatever the fuck it is, right? They'll make sure that you're not some fucking cretin, that you have some etiquette, because etiquette goes a long way in how you carry yourself in all kinds of things. These motherfuckers could never get a job in the 80s or 90s or even early 2000s. These motherfuckers nobody would hire them. Nobody. What the fuck is China and bet and all that shit? Bet? Like, shut the fuck up. I bet I'm deleting this fucking email. That's what I'm betting. So, all right. Now I got that off my chest. Dude, I swear to God, this motherfucker, he would win that competition at the most poorly written fucking email in the history of emails. It's disturbing. It's fucking disturbing. All right. So, question on catless stuff. Bros, how do you not know is my question. How do you not know that the EPA has been cracking down on tuners and shops and sellers of shit like crazy, right? And I'm talking to a point that I'm pretty certain is fucking unconstitutional, okay? If you sell a product and this product can possibly do something, they hold you accountable for it, even if the person doesn't utilize that function, all right? Yeah, it's more than covers ass. I mean, it obviously, yes, but dude, like, you don't understand. Okay, so the EPA was very, very ignorant to the aftermarket, okay? And then some fucking diesel douchebag rolled coal on a Prius at a fucking intersection and was like, har, 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 look at me rolling fucking coal. Look how fucking low my IQ is. I'll make sure everyone around me knows that my IQ isn't higher than room temperature. I'm gonna fucking create big black clouds because that's fucking cool. No, it ain't. If you're a diesel douche, coal rolling fucking dickbag, fuck yourself, because you have fucked everybody in the aftermarket, okay? That fucking coal rolling mentality has destroyed the fucking aftermarket. It's because of you fucking dipshits that the EPA is cracking down on fucking everybody, because some fucking idiot rolled coal on a Prius on a guy that worked for the fucking EPA. This is not a made up story. Guy worked for the EPA, saw this diesel rolling coal through an intersection, he goes, holy shit, how the fuck is that possible? We have laws for that. We have equipment for that. And so he started figuring out. He went to the Google search, diesel truck, black smoke, and gets his fucking world shattered by discovering that people are intentionally pulling off emission defeat devices for the sole purpose of creating huge clouds of ozone-killing pollution, right? And all of a sudden, the EPA is like, hey dude, check this out. Holy fuck, what is this? Huh, what's going on? So then the motherfuckers get together and they go, we need to learn about this. And they find out edge. What the fuck's an edge tuner? This motherfucker says he has an edge tuner. So then they start researching that shit, and edge gets hit for fucking millions of dollars. I think they brought it down to like, 600, 800,000 or some shit like that, right? So they fucking hammer edge, then they hammer bully dog, and then they start fucking just dishing out fines, man. Fucking millions of dollars in fines. Just hand them out. Here you go. And the best part is they go, hey, you know what? Your actual infraction is $350 million, but we're nice and we don't want to put you completely out of business, so we're going to hit you for $3.2 million. All right? So now these motherfuckers, that they're putting people out of business, and they're saying, your device allows people to do this, therefore, we're fining you $4,987, actual number, per device sold. So they fined Edge $4,987 per device that they sold to the public. Then they went to the distributors and fined the distributor $4,987 for the same fucking device that was sold that they fined Edge for. And then that distributor sold to a tuning shop. They went to that tuning shop and they charged that tuning shop $4,987 per fucking device sold. Regardless of whether it was off-road use or the person didn't even have a DPF, he just wanted a little boost in, performance, whatever, they find those guys because the thing could have. Regardless of what it was actually used for, because it could have, they find that guy. Now, I don't know if you guys realize how fucking significant this is. That is completely unconstitutional, but the EPA was given blanket authority by the government fucking like 2 decades ago to do whatever the fuck they want. They can pass laws, not tell you what they are, and then send you a fucking bill, a fine for breaking that law. So now they go, oh, we found out all these fucking diesel tuners. What else we got? Oh, they have it for cars. They have it for gasoline cars too? Bam, Evans Tuning, fucking several $100,000. Almost out of fucking business. Basically out of business. Now he just teaches tuning online because that's all he can fucking do legally, right? PFI Speed, what the fuck they're called in Colorado, they just got hit with $18,000. It was kindly reduced from $300-something to $18,000 because they sold 37 fucking tuners, right? Regardless of whether this is off-road use only, regardless of whether the person actually used it to defeat emissions devices, they sold it. Therefore, they got fined. Okay, now this is fucked, right? This person is being fined for an offense that might not have even happened. Don't know. Don't know if it happened. Don't know what the person used it for. That's like a dude gets stabbed and they fucking sue Buck Knives because their fucking paring knife or whatever, their hunting knife was used in a murder. You see where this is going? Like, they're doing this shit right now, and just like they want to do with guns, right? Oh my God, Ruger needs to be sued because this guy used his gun to shoot somebody. Next thing it's going to be Chevy is going to fucking get sued because somebody used their car to fucking run somebody over. Right? It's a fucking complete racket. It's total fucking bullshit, okay? So these guys are getting fined for just giving the person the ability to do something. For something that might have happened. This is like beyond fucking... The EPA gets away with this shit. That's why the RPM Act is so important. Guys are saying, do the RPM Act, do all that shit. I'm swearing a ton because it's fucking really close to my heart, obviously. Not just because it's performance, but because it's our rights that are being completely fucking trampled on. They come in, they raid your fucking shop. If you don't respond to their fucking mail that they send you, they raid your place, pull all the fucking data they can, find anything they can that defeats fucking emissions controls, then send you a huge fucking fine. Yeah, and I'm finna bust your ass. So, they fucking... Oh man, it's terrible, right? And it all started with a fucking diesel coal rolling douchebag. Complete fucking douchebag that thought it was fucking funny to roll coal on pedestrians and Priuses and that kind of shit. Punch a bunch of fucking soot into some EPA employee's fucking window, and now the whole fucking scene is screwed. Now, if you think that's bad, the EPA is such a crooked pile of shit that in the middle of a section about over-the-road trucks, now if you don't know what an over-the-road truck is, that's the big fucking semis, everyone's like, honk, honk, your fucking horn, right? That's an over-the-road truck. In a section about over-the-road trucks, talking about the pollution levels on them, how much shit they have, all that kind of stuff, line 3 in this paragraph of shit says, and if you have a vehicle, an automobile that has emissions equipment, you cannot remove the emissions equipment even if you want to turn it into a race car only. By the way, over-the-road trucks can't do this, can't do that, right? Like, in the middle of the fucking section. Why? Because that shit gets passed as law. No one cares about over-the-road trucks. They're like, oh, I don't fuck about read this bullshit. I don't give a fuck about that. And they fucking make it a law, and then they fucking destroy the entire automotive aftermarket. Sentence in a paragraph hidden somewhere else. That fucking happens, and then actually got a congressional hearing popped, and the lady that runs the EPA was getting fucking raped. I wish literally, but not really. Was getting destroyed by a bunch of senators, most Republican, of course, because, you know, most of the Republican senators live in places where motorsports are a thing. But they were just destroying this bitch. I'm over-the-road truck driver and blow ringlands on Subarus. Yeah, well, so you care a little bit. But what I'm saying is, they sneaked in here, just like, you know, sentences and all these other fucking, all these other bills that they're passing. Like, you know, we care about this animal, this creature, and so therefore we want to save it. So we're saving down this thing so we can preserve its habitat. And by the way, Planned Parenthood gets $17 million. And then we're going to save this porcupine and blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to, right, and they slide these fucking things in because they're fucking lawyers and politicians. Like, well, if it's in there, it's fucking legal. So we'll just hide it in there somewhere fucking really sneakily. Right? And the EPA's run by crooked motherfuckers just like the rest of the government is. And they do all this shit. I mean, it should be fucking legal. And it's not. Well, it's not totally legal. Right? You can get around the fucking rules if you want. But, so EPA is completely chasing everybody down. There are tons and tons of tuners, tuning shops, manufacturers. RSD, Rally Sport Direct, got fined $300 million. And then they go, or 380. And they're like, hey, you know what, we'll be cool. And they lowered it to $3 million. For TGV deletes, for EGR deletes, for... Man, the government's on my shit. They're trying to block it. That's why that plane right there. Where's my tinfoil hat? Actually, there's a plane out there. A traffic plane flying overhead right there. Looking at some shit. Anyways. The fuck was I? Not to mention that if you upgrade an LSNJ C10 pickup against the EPA, even though you... I don't think that's true. As long as you go more modern, that's allowed. As long as you don't increase displacement and you go more modern, that's allowed. It's when you go backwards that it's illegal. So you can take an old car and put a new engine in it and stuff. As long as you maintain the ignition loop when they came standard in that vehicle, then you're okay. That you can get away with. It's going backwards. As if you took like a Colorado and you dropped a 350, you know, Chevy small block in it, that's illegal. Because the Colorado came with newer emission stuff and you're going backwards, that's illegal. Am I going the right place? Where the fuck am I going? I don't know. I got ranked. So they got fined $3 million. A bunch of people. You can just go online and just look at EPA rate shop and that kind of stuff, and they go everywhere. So when someone says, "Hey, Dom, we do my catless setup," as soon as they say catless in the email, I respond with, "Nope, sorry, man. Man, one guy I told yesterday said we had a good conversation going until you said the word catless. That's really a shame. You're gonna have to get a catted down pipe before I can tune you, because I'm not doing it. Like, I'm sorry, your $200 for a tune is not worth the risk of $4,987. It just isn't to me. You know, like, I got other things that I sell that are completely legal. They do not violate emissions, and they keep my. I mean, come on, motherfucker, get fined for $4,987 on a product he made $30 on. He buys this tuner for like $450, sells it for $480, and gets fined $4,987. Like, that ain't fucking worth it, right? I do a tune, say it's $600, I get like 300 of it, because the dyno gets the other 3, you know, and then I got to pay taxes on it and that kind of shit. So I got like 200 something bucks for a tune. And the EPA goes, "Oh, well, you clicked the 420 code and this thing was catless, so here's your fine for $4,987. Like, that erases my profit for 20 tunes. That ain't worth it. It just ain't fucking worth it. So if you wonder why the guys say you're catless, no thanks, that's why. Because as it is, I gotta sit in a car that's 120, 130 degrees in the fucking dyno cell. Right? Guys don't realize that, right? I'm not in there running the AC. Because the AC adds more heat, makes the radiator work less effectively, heat soaks the engine more, and everything else. I'm not running the AC. I'm in there, and the intake, right? It's on top of the hood there, right? That's where the air comes in for your fucking passenger compartment. So the hood's up, the hot air from the engine is just pouring down that fucking vent. It's blowing out these vents in my face, on my feet, you know, which is fine, because I need at least some moving air. Absolutely, right? I need some air. Like, I'm already sweating my balls. I mean, you're getting my ball sweat in your seats, right? My back sweat in your seat. It's just fucking, I'm loading your whole car with my smell. My aura, my aroma is just loading up your car. Luckily, I smell good, so, you know, your girlfriend's gonna be all randy later on. But just the pheromones just pouring off me, right? And I'm in your car, it's 120 degrees or more. I'm fucking sweating bullets, and I'm tuning your fucking jank 205, and it already stinks like you forgot a chicken sandwich under the seat 3 months ago in there, right? And I'm doing this shit for 3 hours or more because you've got a bad mass sensor, you got a fucking boost leak, your white pipe is cracked, you've had to fix all these fucking things, right? It ain't worth the 200 bucks. Just ain't fucking worth it. And then the EPA is like, hey, you had so much fun making that 200 bucks, I'm fining you $5,000. Just ain't worth it. Just ain't fucking worth it. I canceled all my cop suites. I got the only cop suites I had left are Subaru and Ford. Ford I only kept so I can tune my dad's truck some more because he wants to fucking tune on his truck. He's got a EcoBoost, right? And Subaru because that's obviously my lifeblood. But like, I canceled all my cop shit. I'm not doing any of that stuff anymore. Like, it's just, it's the whole climate is fucked. Until politicians start dying or getting arrested, it's only going to keep getting worse. Until somebody holds them accountable for their fucking bullshit one way or another, it's only going to get worse. So, you know, sign the RPM Act, do whatever fucking letters you can, support however you want to support, right? I mean, it might help, you know, but probably not. You know, our government is not about the people at all. It's about the money. And, yeah, you gotta, it's just gonna keep getting worse. And obviously, I'm not doing it. I mean, I have a sense of freedom, right? Because I know how I'm gonna die. I already know I'm gonna die. So, like, it's gonna be at the hands of my own government. That's how it's gonna be, fucking guaranteed. I don't know if it's gonna be 5 years from now or 10 years from now or next month. I don't know that part, but at least I know how it's gonna happen. So like, I'm living life great right now, right? I'm just working like I want to work, doing what I want to do, travel like I want to travel. I'm designing all the fucking cool parts I want to design. Some really cool shit I'm doing right now. I'm super pumped about. I'm actually driving my crankshaft pulleys to the anodizer right now to have them anodized, and maybe pick up some fittings for my pulley mods. And my machinist is getting hooks for my damper. My crankshaft pulleys have a bolt-on optional damper. If you wanted a viscous style coupling damper, kind of like a fluid damper but different, then it's going to be an option. You just bolt it around the front of the thing. And the cool thing is you can take that off, balance the pulley itself with your engine, and then put the damper on that doesn't require balancing because it's a big fucking damper, right? And so it's this modular setup. Super freaking cool. It's got a weight in it that doesn't slow the engine down when you rev, but it helps add some energy to the engine when the engine slows down. Whereas like other ones will drag the engine down more than this and then also speed it up. They kind of like equalize the speed by having this movable thing. And so my ring that I have in this weighted ring has a special shape in it. It's almost kind of like serrations in a way, if you will, that go one direction. So it's very resistant to the movement in one direction. So when the engine speeds up, the fluid passes by the serrations really easy. And then when the engine goes to slow down, the ring imparts energy, you know, into the fluid and into the damper. So at idle, your car is allowed to, you know, accelerate easily. The crankshaft can accelerate easily like it should. So as you add time and increase torque to control idle better, it does it. But if the engine tries to slow down, then that ring adds some energy to it and tries to minimize the amount of slowdown you get on the crankshaft, helps stabilize it a ton. So that's the next thing that's coming out. I'm pumped about that. And then the dry, I'm still working on that. I'm almost there. Like I'm fucking like really, really close. I was getting my flow simulation in to verify that my vortex or my cyclonic separator is working. My dry sump is a 3.5 stages, what I'm calling it. It's like 4 stages, but it's 3 stages because one stage is both a positive displacement and a centrifugal pump. The centrifugal pump being used to remove as much blow-by gas as possible, and the positive displacement pump being used to remove the oil from what's being scavenged from the top of the heads. So there's a separator between the two of them. The oil goes to the positive displacement pump, and then the vapor goes to the centrifugal pump, which is just basically a ducted fan. And then, of course, I have the main scavenge stage for drawing the oil out of the pan, and then I have the pressure stage for supplying pressure to the engine. And those are both using a Megafloyd gear rotor. If you don't know what that is, it's a type of gear rotor that is a hybrid between a spur gear, only because it has a contact point with a 20-degree pressure angle, and a cyclonic gear rotor, or a cycloidal gear rotor, which is basically what the OEM oil pump gears are. So you have a ton of options with this too. You can run 2 pressure stages, you can run 1 pressure stage, you can run this whole thing just scavenging if you want, have just 4 or 3.5 scavenge stages. You can feed your factory oil pump with it. If you want to feed the factory oil pump and just have it supply smooth, consistent, air-free oil to the oil pump, which I believe is probably the best way to go. You can set it that way, and you use the 40-tooth gear, so it turns the same speed as your oil pump. You still gain performance over the factory oil pump that way, in lots of ways, but that's one of them. Or if you need to overdrive for some reason, so you just have a lot of loads, and you want something that flows like a 12 mil pump flows, but better, then you run like the 37-tooth, which brings the RPM up a little bit. It overdrives the oil pump gear just enough that it flows, well, the gear size would flow the same as a 12 mil, but the volute section and the feed and discharge, the way I have it set up on these pumps, will actually flow more than the 11, the 12, and that kind of stuff would anyways, because it doesn't have the tortuous path that the factory oil pump has. It has a properly sloped feed ramp that feeds the oil to the gears correctly. It doesn't spread it and shear it instead of feeding to both sides of the gears, pulling the oil apart, putting it back together again, and then jamming out the pump. It actually has one feed right into the side of the gear, so everything stays together. As the oil does not get sheared, it does not get aerated, the pump's not going to cavitate. Like, it's a way better setup than the factory oil pump, because there's room to do it, right? The super oil pump is good enough for factory because it's, you know, crammed in this tiny little fucking spot, so they can only do so much. And in that regard, it's a great oil pump. But by having the extra room that we have where the air conditioner is, I can make the oil pump housing the correct shape and feed them appropriately. Is this my exit? No, next one up. So I'm really excited about that. Obviously, I'm still working on the manufacturing costs of the housings. It's going to be some pretty intense machining if I have it all billet. My pulleys right now are all billet. That's obviously expensive, especially with the fucking material costs right now. Like, my cost of these pulleys is more than like a Perrin lightweight pulley retail, right? Like, my cost is significantly more than that. I think it was like $40 more than that thing. So most of that was because material costs are through the roof right now. So I'm trying to get the pump down to something reasonable as well. And then the last thing I want to say is my car, my freaking RS. I bought a G35 900 for the car, and so I took off the EFR twin scroll 7670 kit because I was just kind of tired of it. I love the way the car drives. It's really a fun car, but I miss it really pushing back in the seat. And my EFR was getting kind of laggy, so I think there was something wrong with it. And I was noticing it just wasn't spooling as fast as it used to. Like, full boost at like 53 or 5400, which is not right. That 7670 should be like 4200 or something. And I couldn't find any boost leaks, but I kept hearing what sounds like a tick from maybe a cracked exhaust or a flange or something, you know. And so I was just like, you know what, fuck this. I want to try the new G Series 35 anyway, so I got a 35900, and we were putting it in the car last night. We had the turbo in place. We just had to finish the downpipe flange. The downpipe was good, but it was a 4-bolt flange on the downpipe, so we're just going to change to a V-band. And I was like, man, there's so much room here. This 35 is so small. Like, I could fit another turbo over here. And, hey, Lane, let's do a compound setup on this thing. Like, why not? I got the room. We'll do it. We'll use like a VF or a TD04 or something. And he's like, hey, you know what? I got a V-band housing for a TD04HL, which is the biggest TD04. It's almost a VF size. He's like, it's a V-band housing. It's stainless. It's already got an external wastegate welded onto it. It's at the right angle, the right location. We literally can put this in place of the factory turbo, right? And then run the compound setup like that. And I was like, that's a fucking good idea. We should do that. And I'm looking at space. My buddy Igor is like, no, don't do that. He's Russian. I do a really bad Russian accent, but I'll do it anyways. And it's like, no, why would you do that? So, so lame. And I'm like, it's not lame. It's awesome, dude. Like, full spool, like 2,000 RPM. And he's like, well, you don't know. It might spool to 4,000 anyway. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know if it's going to spool 4K. Probably not. It's at 35. It doesn't spool at 4K. I was like, I want all that torque down low like everybody does. And the power up top like everybody does. Why not try it? And he's like, that's dumb. Too much work. I don't want to do that, And I was like, look, man, I want to. And besides that, eventually, I'm putting that 3-liter in over there anyways. He's like, what 3-liter? I got an easy 30 over there on the wall, and that's going to go in the car. And I'm sure that would spool the 900 pretty good. And he was like, why not put it in now? I'm like, wow, I don't know. Like, I just didn't really think about it. And Lane was like, it's probably the same amount of work to make that easy 30 work as it would be to build a compound kit. I'm like, it's your guys' work, I don't give a shit. Do you want to put it in? And they're like, yeah, we're gonna put it in. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Go for it. And Igor's like, look, you go tune my car. We'll put in the engine. And I'm like, all right. So I go in the dyno. I rip a couple poles off. I get a text message. It shows my engine on the ground. I'm like, oh wow, that was fast. But my car's easy to pull in. And it's a GC, so it should be hard to pull an engine out of. It's actually really easy. It's had so many engines in and out of that thing, it just falls out, right? It's like a hot dog down the hallway, but like inverted. You undo the last like bolt on the flywheel, bell housing, and it goes, and the engine like falls forward. You gotta catch it, or it's gonna hit the radiator. Like the engine's falling out of the thing so easy. It's like the 9th or 10th engine's been in that thing. So they had it out in fucking no time. And then they're like, we're about to put the 3-liter in, but we can't get it in. We fucked up the clutch trying to get it in. And so I go out there and look at it, and together we drop the engine in like another 15 minutes. So now there's a 3-liter in my car. I gotta do some wiring, obviously, and we're trying to figure out what to do about the boost. I got a blower. There's not a lot of room for turbos in that thing, and we wanted to do twin turbos, but that'd be, really close to the ground. So I think we're just gonna put a blower on it. Get some really nice 6-cylinder sounds, put it at 400 horsepower, and then put the 900 in a compound setup, either in my SVX or my other Impreza, and make that fucker crazy fast. It's already got a cage in it too, right? So if I put the big motor in the cage car, then I can go race and do what the fuck I want. And daily driving the RS with a 6-cylinder and a blower, a nice 400 horsepower that just sounds beautiful. It doesn't sound too bad. I can't drive slow cars, so I can't have the EZ30 by itself. That just wouldn't work. Like if my shit's not at least 400 horsepower, I don't want to drive it. I'm just like on the freeway. I'm like, ugh, what is this? 380 horsepower? Ugh. At 405, I'm like, okay, a little closer. And then at 500, I'm like, that's how every car should be made. 500 horsepower, that's how they should all be made. And get on the freeway, like this car, this fucking BMW, this thing rips. It sucks as an auto, but it's a good auto. It's like the best auto in the fucking market. ZF makes an amazing automatic. The only autos I like are made by ZF. Chevy autos, blah. Ford autos, double blah. It's got a 10-speed. It never stops shifting. It's just horrid. But the ZF autos are amazing. I love them. And I get 40 miles per gallon. You can't beat that shit. You can't beat that. Alright. Well, you guys know the drill. I'm at the anodizer place. I'm gonna drop off my shit. I'm gonna leave it running this time. This should just take a second. If you're still here when I get back, I appreciate it. If you're not, I totally understand. I wouldn't wait on hold for too long either. So I'll put some music on. Alright. BRB, just gotta drop the box off. Ah! day and a half. Igor got my impression of Igor, I'm sure. That's good. Igor C in chat is the Igor that helped me with my thing last night, so he gets to laugh or be insulted at my really bad Russian accent. I'm pretty sure laugh. I don't think bitch. If he was, I don't think I'd be his friend. EPA not kill if you did for Dieselgate, right? I mean, they did throw the guy in jail. They did throw the guy in jail for that. Oh, I missed my spot. I was reading your guys' chat, make sure there's anything I missed. How will they know it's tuned cat lessons is documented? Yeah, I don't know. I know that I've gotten some, oh my gosh, that's my last. I got some emails from, I'm pretty sure people that work for the EPA, or phone calls from people that work for the EPA, because they're just not quite educated enough, and the question they asked, they were very specific about wanting it tuned because it was catless, and they just kept kind of pushing the catless thing and pushing the emissions thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, sorry, I can't help you. Like, I just can't do it. Well, my friend said you did it. Someone said once, and I'm like, no, your friend's wrong. So, and like, okay, thanks. And like, that was it. Like, there's a couple times that, and an email too, that I'm certain was phishing by people in their department because it did not sound like a legitimate owner. I mean, there was whole sentences for one in punctuation, so it definitely wasn't the guy that owned a Subaru. How streets of park it is. You know, the guy has a bug eye and uses complete sentences and doesn't say finna and trina and bet and stuff. Yeah, it's not a real person. It's a bot. I don't know if you were liking our jam here. This is actually me playing drums in this. Jam out to my music. That's what it boils down to. I like my band and I like to jam out to our music. It's fun to play, it's fun to listen to, it's a good time. I got some nice fucking fills that come in nice. It's good. Big trailer. There we go. Excuse me. Little car coming through. Excuse me, thank you. Excuse me, please, thank you. Thank you, excuse me. Thank you, please, thank you. hauling ass. Nope. Lay on the brakes. Let's see my turn. Alright. So I don't like to talk too much when I'm diving between cars because I want to focus on not running into anybody. I know it's a crazy idea. I kind of wish I had an exoskeleton car or truck where I could run into people. It'd be more fun. It'd make the commute a little easier. Not that I commute. Just to drive to the Energizer guy. So in the back of my car right now, there's no more crankshaft pulleys. But what there is a bunch of wiring stuff. So I can wire this EZ30 in my car. And a front sway bar that's got the swoops in it. They go around the exhaust. And hear that clicking sound? I think that's called a blinker. I wouldn't know though because it's a BMW. It might just be flashing brake lights at somebody or putting a big middle finger out there. They're trying to ask when they're trying to trap. Yeah. Well, they didn't even know fucking what rolling coal was, right? Until that fucking idiot did it. So there's a little bit of that going on for sure. God, this song is fun. It's long as shit. And then I fuck up the ending. Right at the end, I fuck up the very, very ending. No, dude, like my E92 I got had 100,000 miles on it when I got it. The blinkers were like new in box. Never used. I think when I hit the button, the electrons in the car had no idea where to go. They were like, what? Wait, what's this path? Haven't gone on this path before. It's like the road less traveled. I'm sure the wires had probably developed some sort of resistance to flow from being like atrophied muscles, but it's atrophied wires for just sitting there. I think it's coming to the end here where I fuck it up. Seconds away. Then I fuck it all up. I cymbal crash on the wrong freaking beat. And it makes the song sound abbreviated, and I just fucked the whole jam up at the very, very end. Of course it was me, right? Like, I was laying out some saucy fills, everything was going really good. And then last note of the song, it's cut short by some fucking idiot on the drums. Anyways, anything else I can rant about for you guys? Any questions I can answer while I'm driving around? Atrophied wires, yeah. I don't think I need more updates. Just that please send me a fucking coherent email if you email me. Leave the word catless out of it. Use sentences, and a sentence has, you know, a subject, a predicate, you know, that shit, right? I go through sentence structure with you. I can do an English class when I'm going to, but periods belong in sentences. Capital letters at the beginning of them. What's the price for this? Whoopsie. $8. I think I said $8 for a month. Then I think it's $80 for the year, something like that. So you get 2 months for free, basically, something like that. Lately, we've been having a good time there. Actually, a lot of discussions going on, a lot of shooting the shit. You know, a lot of that for sure. I'll occasionally stream me doing SolidWorks stuff and explain what I'm doing to people, and we'll go through a lot of that. That's a lot of fun. I get really excited about it, to be honest with you. Not a lot of things that get me really excited, but you know, designing shit is definitely one of them. What the fuck is that? Is there a circus in town? I didn't know anything about it. I didn't realize they were having the Democratic National Convention here. Yes, Igor. I'm working on the RS in a few minutes, actually. I'm going to go there. I need some food first. I need food. All I've had is a cup of coffee. And, you know, that aid getting the morning poop out. But I need some food. I need something to burn besides this fat. I got to save my fat, so I need to burn something else. Someone roll through McDonald's or something like that, because that's super healthy. And then I'm going to go sit in the sun and figure out some wiring on the RS. I think I'm going to take the M-Tron out of it, as I'm just putting a blower on it. There ain't no point running the M-Tron on it, right? The M-Tron's got too much power, too many features and stuff. So I'll probably put the Adaptronic in it. The Adaptronic is, you know, I don't know if I've ever had a fucking quarter pounder deluxe. Is that any good? I don't like cheese. I usually just get the, you know, dollar menu thing, like a McDouble with no cheese. I like the McDoubles because they remind me of the hamburger stand when I was a kid. A place called the Hamburger Stand that had 39-cent burgers and 59-cent cheeseburgers, or maybe it was 29 and 39 cents. I don't mind mayo, like on my McChickens, for example, and they fucking smear. Sometimes they put too much, and then I gotta squeeze it out a little bit. I don't mind mayo on my shit. Put mayo on burgers at home. Double hamburger is cheaper than McDouble and same topping. Yeah, like two of them. It's like $3 for two of them. Isn't that pretty much bigger than that one? I don't know. I don't know. I don't do animals. I don't know. Looks like I'm getting off here. Exit only lane I'm sitting in. Where's my fucking favorite song? Favorite song we did Sloth Dance. So just rocks. I don't know why it rocks so much. 2 for $3. Gotcha. That's probably a better deal. Yeah, it's like $3.13 or some shit. It ain't much. I like roundabouts. Good bitch about roundabouts all the time. Roundabouts suck. Like roundabouts kick ass. I ain't stopped for no one. Move, bitch! Get out the way! Like, I'm coming through that motherfucker. And if I can't go around it, I'll go through it. Let's jump that shit. I love roundabouts. I like to pretend I'm on a circuit and I'm running through the chicane and I'm hopping the curbs on both sides. I get all tight, get up on 2 wheels. People look at me like I don't know how to drive, but little they know that it's because I know how to drive. I like fucking hitting them curves, baby. Downshift, put the thing in manual, let's do it. Hop the curbs. Hopefully I don't get a curb penalty. I used to work at McDonald's. My first job was McDonald's. I think Pick 2. I don't know what that one was. I've never seen commercials for that. But that was during the whole I'm loving it phase and all the weird songs and shit they were doing. I didn't really pay much attention to McDonald's at that time. More apartments. More fucking apartments. They need a place to put the people that grew up here. All the retirees coming all their money driving the housing market up. People can't afford to live here anymore. People that work here can't afford to sleep here. That's what it boils down to. So yeah, I'm going to the shop right now. I'm gonna put the Adaptronic in the RS, put the other wiring harness in. I gotta move pins around in it because I changed it for a link, so that's gonna take me a while. And I gotta run wires for the 2 extra cylinders. I gotta do basically 4 wires, 2 coil triggers, 2 injector triggers, and then I gotta do 2 more wires for the lift system, because it's got AVLS as well as AVCS on the intake. So I gotta do that. And then I gotta run the wires for the drive-by-wire throttle body. So I'll make a harness for the drive-by-wire and the AVLS, and that'll be a separate harness. But the 4 wires for the 2 cylinders, I'll run through existing plugs. So I got 4 spots available on the plugs. Oh, I put the twin plate in there, which now seems like a dumb fucking idea. I'm not gonna need it now, right? Like, my favorite parts of the songs. Right here. Sorry, it gets me amped up. Puts me in a good mood, makes me feel good inside. I'm about to go sit in the sun and feel bad outside. I might as well feel good inside first, right? Anyway, so drive-by-wire, AVLS, 4 wires and harness for the cylinders. I'll put the Dectron back in. I put the twin plate in it, which now is a mistake because I'm only gonna put a fucking blower on it, like 4 and a horse, so you know, I gotta take the twin plate out. But tran's gotta come out anyways. It's got a leak I gotta fix. So I'll pull the trans out, put the regular STI clutch back in it again, put the twin plate in the other Impreza that gets the G35 900, and restore the red STI back to stock so we can sell that. I mean, it's got 13,000 miles on a 15 STI. I'm sure people will love to buy one of those. It's in really good condition. There's like 2 scratches on it. You know what? I want a fucking sandwich, like a big meaty deli sandwich. Where the fuck can I go for one of those? Why should you go to Sourdough? Are they open? What time is it? 10:17. They're almost open. I don't know if you guys have been, if you have a San Francisco Sourdough, man, it's fucking lit though. It's really good. Yeah, man, 13,000. I think I turned 13,050 miles on it yesterday, driving to the shop, or day before yesterday. Like, it's got hardly 80 miles. It's in good shape. It needs to be clean because we've had some dust storms, you know, at my house and stuff. Yeah, the used market's ridiculous right now, which is why one reason why I got it. The dude had it modified a bunch, and the shop that did it did a bunch of questionable shit on it, and they used a raw aluminum fabricated surge tank that they made for a car that's only running ethanol. It ruined the whole fuel system, dude. The whole fuel system, the injectors, all 3 fuel pumps, both fuel filters, just ruined everything. And so here I got this car I thought I was gonna be able to pull a bunch of stuff off of, and you know, or first I think I was gonna do was put my cams in it, right? I was gonna tune it like it sat, make it run really good, put my cams in it, see the difference. But then I got it, and it needs like $4 grand in fuel system repairs, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm just not doing that. You know, like it instantly became a huge financial burden that I didn't want to take on. You know, I didn't want to do it. I've always wanted a red V. I love the V8 chassis. I think it's a super cool car.
I like the Evo 11. I like the VA. I think the VA is a throwback to the GC. And I think they did a pretty good job on it. Obviously it's not a coupe, so that kind of sucks. But the headlights, the bumper design, and everything is extremely close to a GC. It's like a modernized version of it. I liked that. The handling is fucking amazing, man. The VAs out of the box handle better than any GC I've been in that has spent thousands and thousands on suspension. You know what I mean? Like, they should have just put sugar in the gas tank. That sucked. Yeah, right? I mean, they did. That's what they did. It's ethanol, right? So it sugared from sitting and ruined everything. It's the same thing. It's exactly what it was. So, yeah, I love the VA. It's beautiful. I love the red. I think the red looks awesome on them. Ever since Mo's car, we worked on that one. I've wanted one. And so I was like, this car's gonna be cool. I'll have it for a little while. I'll do some fun stuff with it, and then I'll sell it because I don't need to have 11 cars. Yeah, the VA chassis is just the best. Like, it handles so damn good, and it's for good reason. And I love the story behind it, because the WRX was the one that was designed first, right? The WRX was designed first, and then STI takes it and modifies it and makes it theirs, right? So the BRZ guy and the WRX guy at Subaru are rivals. I don't know whether they're friendly rivalry or whether they fucking hate each other. I don't know which one it is, but they're rivals. And so the BRZ comes out, and it's the best handling Subaru in history with a low center of gravity, and everyone's like, oh my god, this car is so cool. And the WRX, the lead WRX engineer, is like, motherfucker, right? Like, this other guy's stealing all my glory, right? The WRX has always been the cool car. It's been my baby forever. He's old as dirt, too, by the way. So this old guy's like, motherfucker. So he goes through and does a redesign on the WRX to beat the BRZ guy, and does a fucking outstanding job. But if it wasn't for the BRZ guy, the VA would not be nearly as good. And so, I mean, that's friendly competition inside a company, right? But it's things like that that really advance the progression, the technology, the handling, of automobiles, of all kinds of products. It's that competition that really drives other people to do better and produce a better product. And I love it. I love it. Chase, I don't know if you guys know who Chase is. Chase Wilson, he actually owns Tier 1. But if you go back when there was that competition where they had you submit your VIN number for Subaru in a video, and then they would select a few people to go this thing. It was a surprise of what they were doing. What they did is that they made these people compete against each other, and the winner of the competition got something. It was like they got the WRX, I think is what it was. And so they had to go and work on these cars and race these cars and do all these things. And Chase was on the show. It was a special. They actually put it online and all of that. And he got to meet the WRX owner guy, or the WRX engineer. And he was one telling me about it, that when he was telling the guy, oh yeah, it's like the BRZ. And he's like, no, BRZ no good. No BRZ. He was like totally hating on the BRZ, the guy that designed the WRX. So Chase was telling me about that, and it was pretty funny to hear him talk about how much he hated the BRZ. And then like these other dudes told Chase, yeah, the designers, they have this feud, internal to Subaru. So Chase got the lowdown on why the guy was saying, no, BRZ no good, bad car, and everything. So it was really funny. But that internal, rivalry in the company pushed everybody to do a better job, and that's really neat. And that made a car that's really awesome. It sucks it's got frame doors. I mean, like, even my BMW knows better than that. But they got those frame doors, which I fucking hate. Which they started in 2008. Thanks, Toyota. Fuck you, Toyota. Fuck you, Toyota. I gotta say it again because I'm still so pissed off about it. Like, the GD, the last GD, the Hawkeye, right, people call it. Frameless doors. Beautiful. Yeah, you get some wind noise at 140. So what? You're at 140. There's a lot of wind moving at 140. Right? I love frameless fucking doors. Look at this. I can roll down my window. I can get in and out of the car
and not bang myself on a fucking door frame. Bam! Right in the face with a fucking triangle door frame. Fuck that. Fuck you, Toyota. Ruining my Subaru. Yeah, nothing, right? Just this little guy right here. That's it. This little guy. That's all you get. Bloop. When the window's down, we open the door, just that. That's it. I love it. My GC, I love it. And it's a coupe, so it's big, long fucking doors, right? Yeah, and they had to go and ruin that. They had to go put these fucking frames in it because that makes it stiffer and it has less wind noise. Fuck you, Toyota. It's all their fucking fault. They buy those shares from Chevy and they come in and they fuck the car up. They fuck up the 6-speed. They fuck up the interior. They fuck up the frameless doors. Fuck you, Toyota. Damn it. I bet the Supra has frameless doors, right? Because it's a fucking BMW. Yeah. Fuck you, Toyota. God damn it. I can't say it enough. I mean, the BRZ is a good coupe. Oh, really? The 15 has thinner windows? That's funny. You know, I believe that because there's so much fucking noise in that VA. That car's so fucking loud. I'm certain that with thicker windows, it would be quieter. This BMW has got pretty good sized glass. Like, you don't hear shit. Like, these things are pretty thick. I should measure that. I'll do that later on today. When I get home, I'll measure how thick the glass is on this versus my 15. I'll get out my calipers and measure that shit. Now, there's a little bit of extra film on here because I got tint on it. But I'll still measure them and see how thick they are. Yeah, the VA is really loud. That's true. That is one downside. I mean, they added a spherical ball to the main control arm mount. There's a lot of NVH getting through a spherical ball. It's rigid mounted to the frame, spherical ball. Like, you're going to have NVH. Plain and simple. You can't get around that without adding a whole lot of sound deadening to the frame and areas around that mount. But you can't get the amazing handling that the VA has without that spherical ball in the control arm. Like, that alone made the biggest difference. If you compare the GR to the VA, the control arm is almost the same, but that bushing is not. And that spherical ball on the VA is the ticket. That made one of the biggest differences in the way the whole thing handles. You keep that geometry crisp, you keep the geometry right, like, really good. Really good. I really like the way they handle. These fucking turn so good. They're pretty stiff. The 15's pretty stiff from the factory. Mine's on stock suspension still. It's the only thing I think he didn't modify was the suspension. And he's got those big ass wheels on it that I gotta sell. I don't like white wheels. I like it more than black wheels. I hate black wheels. Black wheels are just... I hate black wheels almost as much as I fucking hate Toyota for ruining my car. Sorry. Yeah, I don't like fucking black wheels. I think they look hideous. It's just this body hovering on the ground. Like, it just looks stupid. I want maybe a little bling. I want some style. I want something that accents the car's lines. Something that gives it, you know, some depth. I don't want this freaking hovering over the road crap. I don't like it at all. And trucks with the black wheels. I feel like if you have black wheels on a truck, you don't have a truck. Yeah, right. You unlock the skin. You gotta run more people over to unlock the skin. Like, black gets dirty so fast. Like, I think this guy has black wheels. I can't tell. It's a truck. They might be brown, but they're fucking hideous. It's a Dodge though. Like, it's a Dodge. I bet that guy is the biggest fucking asshole ever. Because guys that drive Dodge trucks are the biggest fucking assholes on the road ever. At least out here. If there's a dude riding your ass, he's in a Dodge. If there's a guy cutting you off, he's in a Dodge.
If there's a guy fucking not stopping for pedestrians, he's in a Dodge. If he's flipping you off when you drive by, he's in a Dodge. Like, the guys out here, the Dodge drivers are the biggest fucking pricks ever on the road. Passing you in a non-passing zone, it's a prick in a Dodge. Puking diesel smoke on fucking pedestrians, it's a dude in a Dodge. The Dodge truck drivers are the fucking worst. If it's a diesel, it's exponentially worse. If you drive a Dodge diesel truck, fuck you. Almost as much as fuck Toyota for ruining my car. Yeah, out here they're the worst, man. The fucking worst. Every time somebody does something offensive on the road, I'm like, hey, look at that. He was, absolutely. Yep, he was. And both my STIs have them. Of course, Travis, hey, you're back. Fuck you too. Let's see. You have black wheels on your... Oh, that's right. The white STI that used to be blue has what black wheels on it. Yeah, you should burn both those cars to the ground. I told a customer who sent me an email. In fact, he might be watching. Are you in here, Matt? He had a 04 Derex for his son, and they wanted to do some stuff, and he asked about a hybrid. And I'm like, do not do a fucking hybrid, man. Do not do a fucking hybrid. And I was like, I won't tune it. Like, I don't even want to fucking help you with it. It's the worst shit ever. It's the worst head Subaru produced on the second worst fucking bottom end. Like, don't do that shit. I was like, here's 3 solid options for you. 1, I sent them a link for a JDM EG205 with AVCS, because AVCS completely transforms the car. If you have a 205 in your car, get one with AVCS. Get a JDM one. They're like $1,800 shipped with ECU, or like $1,900 shipped with ECU. Like, they're super cheap. It still has a TD04 on it, or even sometimes small, like a TF035 or some shit. It's even smaller. Put your TD04 on it. Put a VF on it. Whatever. Hey, this Dodge guy in the truck is driving forward out of the parking lot the wrong way with a bunch of shit. Go surprise! Hey, look at that, going the wrong way down the fucking highway. Surprise, surprise! There's a guy in the Dodge. And he was fucking obese too, and looked like a dick. Anyway, so I told him, get a 205 with AVCS. Transforms the car, drive better than it ever has. You'll love it. It's inexpensive. It's a good way to go. Or do a D-stroker. He said he had an STI bottom end that needed to be rebuilt anyways. Like, hey, get that. We'll de-stroke it. Have the head CNC, cut to match the combustion chambers for the bigger bore. And have a de-stroker, and it'll fucking really rip. That'd be a really nice car. So option 3, light on fire, push off a cliff. Any of the 3 options I recommend equally. Any of the 3. They're all great solutions for the car. Luckily, Matt understands my sense of humor and got a laugh out of it. I'm sure somebody else would have been like, fuck this guy, delete, block, something like that. But yeah, I recommend any 3 options equally. Good engine. Fuck that shit. All good options. I'm just here in the same parking lot right now. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out what I want to eat. I think I'm waiting for 11 o'clock to roll by, so the sourdough sandwich company will open up. Their sandwiches are bomb. Really fucking good. And I'm sure they're loaded with like 4 pounds of calcium or sodium in them and stuff too, But they're so damn good. They're so damn good. That's what I want. I want a big old grubbing sandwich. Any more questions I can answer you guys? I know we're just shooting the shit, and you guys are probably fucking laughing at your desks, telling you, buddy, hey, look at this fucking idiot, What do you got against Hyperblue? What? I don't know what you mean, Travis. Hyperblue? I will say, cams onto their head, have a nice chop. You don't get that. Yeah, of course. I mean, you could if you had aftermarket system and you pushed them at idle open. Factory ECU won't do it, but with an aftermarket system, you can do it. I wonder if M-Tron will let me do that. Oh, I see. Gotcha. No, it's got black wheels on it. That's why. I said set it on fire because you said the black wheels on it. I mean, a fire is way cheaper than buying new wheels. Duh. I mean, it's already totaled. It's already fucking totaled. You might as well just make it official. And I think I know who tuned it too, so it's definitely totaled. Just kidding. That thing hauls ass. You did a good job. Oh, did you ever get the idle straightened out? I spent like 4 hours on my 15 making it idle, and I found some tricks that work really fucking good on it, and that shit idles good regardless of situation. So if you want, I can pass you on some of that gouge and let you know what I did. I think idle's rock fucking steady. Igor's idle's pretty good too. Of course you haven't done it. You're the laziest tuner I know, Travis. Calling you out. You're like, hey, I could do it, but I'm not gonna. Just fucking do it. Get out there and do it. I mean, you even had a period where you were unemployed. Like you had tons of time. You binge watching shows on Netflix or something. Like, just do it. Yeah. I need to change the oil and shit. Yeah, I'm sure the oil change is gonna fucking clean that idle right up. Oh, I delete that fucking game, dude. EFT, I delete that fucking game. I'm tired of that jank. It's too much commitment for too little reward in that game. I'd rather go back to high school and date again. Like, fuck EFT, man. I mean, I spent a lot of time building guns and having a good time with that shit, you know, but that's not the game, right? Dude, it's a huge time suck. And if you don't commit to that game every day, they penalize you for it. And I'm sorry, I'm not playing a game where they make it necessary for you to log in every day and do shit, or you get left behind. Like, it doesn't suit me, you know? Like, I am too busy a person to fucking spend 6 hours a day grinding that fucking game just so I can, you know, keep up with other motherfuckers that have, you know, 3 hours a day grind, or the pros that do it for 12 hours a day and then just get wrecked every time you go in. Like, yeah, like, it's just, no, it's too much of a time suck. Fuck that. I like games where they start fresh, you know. Connor asked me, have you thought of building a EZ30 high compression and a high revving NA build? Well, the EZ30 is 10.7 to 1 already, so it's already high compression. Yeah, I don't know. I had some fucking videos in PUBG where we fell out of our chairs laughing. Like, dude. I had times I was crying. Just fucking crying. You know, in PUBG, laughing so hard. I laughed hard one day. I was sore the next day playing PUBG with the guys. So there was some good ones in EFT though. There were some good ones in EFT for sure. Anyways, Connor. So so it's already 10.7 to 1. So that's already, you know, high enough if you're trying to pump gas. And high revving. I mean, the engine is not that well suited for high revving with the short little rods and everything. The rod ratio isn't great. I mean, that's a Subaru signature right there. Fuck your rod ratio. You know, it's a Subaru special. And the exhaust ports are pretty restrictive, and the cams are just way too small. Now, I know Kelford started making cams for him. Chop Shop dude, he had some gigantic fucking cams made for him to do an NA build on and all that. Deleting the AVLS system and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it would be neat, I suppose, but half the reason for going to the 30 is for the torque. So if I just kill the torque by porting the shit out of the heads and putting big cams in it, I don't know, it just seems like a lot of what I was trying to get away from in the first place. If I wanted something that makes power up top and has no fucking torque, well, I got turbo 4-cylinder for that. that being said, the 4-cylinder that I pulled out of my car with the 7670, and well, just the engine in general with any turbo, it makes a lot of torque. That engine is really good with the cam. I have my prototype cams in it. It was the first profile that I did before I did my big cams I released to the public. And that setup works really good. It makes a lot of torque. It made good power. I mean, I ran a 10.7 with like a 10.0 trap speed on it. So it definitely is capable of making power, and it revs out really nice, over 8 grand and all of that. And it has good torque down low, and it's really, it's really surprising, honestly. That car has always surprised me. And it's those heads and those cams. Every engine I put them on has just been amazing. That was really good. So the guy that ported them did a really good job. Yeah, because he did just a light enough port, but it got rid of the restrictive areas, but kept port volume low, which means velocity is high, which means more torque and better spool. So he just did a really good job on the heads. Really good job. And I wish I had that guy around to do my porting still, but I don't. So yeah, that car drives really fucking good. You could lug it, like I could put it in, you know, any high gear at less than 2,000 RPM and just put it to the floor, and it would just grunt its way through. Like, it already ran really good. I didn't dislike the way that thing ran. It's a pleasure to drive. Everyone that drove that car was like, this thing is really a pleasure to drive. And so in true dumb fashion, I had to fuck that up and take the engine out. But yeah, I really liked the way that engine ran. But I just wanted a little more grunt, and I wanted the 6-cylinder noises, man. Like, I wanted the sounds of the 6-cylinder. My car sounded pretty good with the equal length headers and the full race kit on it. You know, it's had a good tone to it. A nice exhaust, it's not too loud. You know, it sounded really good. And that EFR is so fucking loud on spool anyways. Like, everyone knew it was turbocharged. There was no question. Just leaving a stop sign and like, you know, all the noises. So that was all good, but I just really wanted more bangs per rev. You know, I wanted those 6-cylinders. I wanted to hear it because they sound amazing when they're set up right. Nice equal length fucking 3-into-1s on there with a dual exhaust, or then 3-into-1 and then 2-into-1. Equal length. They just sound so good. Not as good as the EG33 though. The EG33 with equal lengths and a full dual exhaust, like on the SVX, that's ear sex. I don't think I've ever said ear sex in my life, but that is ear sex for sure. And it won't get you arrested. So those sound really good too. And I wanted that. I had an EG33, but to do that, I got to get rid of the AC, and I ain't doing that. Although with this EZ, I still might have to get rid of AC. Like, there's a serious fitment issue in the GC with that thing. I'm surprised the hood shut though. Like, when we put it in, Igor was like, the hood's not gonna shut. There's no way, it's too big, take it out. I'm like, no, people did this spot before, like, it's gonna happen. The hood shut, there's clearance. I think it's like that much, but you know, there's clearance. But fans won't fit on the radiator in front of that engine for sure. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that. Whether I get some small fans or something, but that engine's hard to keep cool anyways in a swap, and anything's hard to keep cool in a GC. So I'm a little nervous about that. I don't think I can have a front mount intercooler. I think the pressure drop from that and the reduction of airflow of the radiator with a front mount is just going to destroy it. But there's no room for an intercooler anywhere else on that engine. So I think I have to go air water or something and put the exchanger in like the fender well, and then the air to water intercooler in the fender well, and then use a heat exchanger in front of the engine, a smaller one that doesn't block the whole radiator and stuff, to keep that to keep it cool. And I think I might have to go to a front fan, even like an Evo, to keep it cool. So there's some concerns with that as to how well it's going to work. Part of me was like, man, I got this M-Tron ECU, I should put the 6-cylinder in the 15. But I just want my freaking RS to be cool. Certain pusher range is really good, high comp and Revit NA for net gains. Yeah, well, my Corvette ran. I started my Corvette, and it's 11.2, I think, to 1. with a 304 duration cam and 3/8 push rods and big ass 3/8 push rods, shaft mounted rockers, fucking high revving, practically solid roller lifters on it, and a Cali's 8 counterweight crank. So like this one's made to rev. So I will be pushing it further than the tack on the Corvette goes. So I will enable a shift light to let me know when I'm at 7,500 because the tack will not display that. And I'll know shortly after that light I need to shift because I want to shift by 8. I'll set my rev limit around 8. Unless the horsepower is still climbing, then I'll shift it at 9. We'll see where it goes. The cam's only got about 670 lift, I think. So I don't think it's going to carry power to 9. And they're cathedral heads. They're ported pretty heavily, cathedral heads. But I don't think it's going to go to 9 like it is. But I'm pretty sure it'll do 8. And it'll be fun. So that's going to rip for that. And then the SVX, that's supposed to be the hill climb build. I'm taking the EG33 out of it to make room for a big fucking front mount turbo in front of it. In front of a 25 or a 2.3 liter. So I'm gonna do a closed deck, 1/2-inch head studs, 2.3 in the SVX with a front mount turbo, probably like the 900 or something, maybe it's a little smaller. We'll see. Maybe I'll put the compound in it. Who knows? There's more room in there for a nice compound. Maybe I'll have 2 turbos sitting right there. That might be kind of neat. Yeah, I don't know yet. I gotta finish the RS first, and then do the red STI, and then work on the SVX or the other Impreza. The Impreza with the cage. So we'll see. All right, it is time for me to go and get some freaking food. I had dinner and breakfast, and it's almost lunchtime, and I'm starving, and I got work ahead of me. So I'm gonna turn this shit off. I'm gonna answer any last questions I may find on here. What do we got? Okay, sounds crazy. Yeah, my other one I did was a big, no AC, no deal, right? I have a billet Cali's in my other one. I built another one with piston oil squirters, 6.3-inch rods, custom JE pistons, and all that stuff. And it that one's made to fucking rev out too. So it's gonna be good. Awesome to build a GC with 600, like 260 in a car that weighs about 2,600 pounds. Yeah, well, it won't weigh 2,600 pounds because you got a big 6-cylinder in it. So it won't weigh that. Fuck it, it didn't even weigh 2,600 pounds when it was just the NA 2.5 in it. So it won't weigh that little at all, unless you strip it. But I don't want that. Flat 6 sounds good. Raising this for 6. Spread the load more. Yeah, no, absolutely. The issue is, Travis, with the 6 is that they don't handle the load well. Yeah, it's great to have more displacement and have a lower power density per cylinder, but as it is, the rods being so skinny, the cylinders being so thin, they just don't handle the power well. I mean, the EZ30 cylinder wall is only 2 millimeters thick. That's not a very strong sleeve. So then you gotta like, what, do sleeves on it? And then with sleeves, now you're about head gasket sealing. Like it's just kind of a bummer. And that's where the EG33 came in. Why you guys made such power on that? Because that had thicker sleeves. I mean, it was an EJ22 with 2 more cylinders. So the 33 was definitely better for high horsepower potential than the EZ30. But the EZ30 has just got so much cooler technology in it, and it's smaller and lighter than the EG33, and it fits in more stuff. So it's kind of a bummer, and like no one makes fucking cams for an EG. So then you're stuck with just the EG's tiny little ports and cams, and then trying to find some stuff. It's really hard to get for both of them. And so I can see why the EZ isn't a popular swap, and I know why the EG is not a popular swap. So it's just tough. It's tough being a Subaru guy wanting more it's almost like you gotta switch platforms. Like I've told multiple people that email me, like, yeah, man, this platform's not for you. Like you send me this, you want all these things. I'm like, yeah, it's not the right platform for you, dude. Like your goals don't make any sense. Like an EJ won't do that. You know, I'm not sure what you read online, but an EJ won't actually do what you're asking to do. Try B58, you know, BMW or something. So that usually pisses those guys off. But all right, guys. Thanks for sticking around, jamming out with me to my band, something we did a couple years ago, and listen to me say fuck Toyota, fuck the EPA, fuck you, Travis, and anybody else supposed to fuck? Well, not till later on when she gets home.